Welcome back to SOS. I'm Stas Arm Badass.
Sippy cup.
Was that a bug in my ear?
Ear crusty.
You sure it wasn't a tick? Alright, so we're here to do kind of an after action of our family camping trip with a 1-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 5-year-old. 1 boy, 2 girls, and then us. So,
and a dog.
And a dog. A relentless dog. And he's a heavy dude. He's a Akita Mastiff.
Black Lab.
And there's a mix of Black Lab in there somewhere. It's like a hint. So, we went on this trip and we loaded up everything. And this is great. Now, most people would be like, why would you do a video about this subject? Okay. Because most people, when they go and do this stuff and they've got their families and stuff, you know, you might have 1 kid. You know, there's different levels of the parenting set here, right? And most people will be like, a kid's a kid. Okay. Would you agree with that?
No.
No. So, I mean, you got level 1. There's a kid. All right. Level 2. You're getting there. You know, it's 2 kids. What does this one like? What does that one like? And then, you know, keeping track, not every kid's the same. Level 3.
You're outnumbered.
You're starting to get outnumbered, right? So, where did that one go? All right, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we've got all of them.
Sound off.
Now, we have family members in our family that have, 5 kids or, somewhere around there, right? Roughly average in our families have 5 kids or so, right?
Right.
Roughly, okay. So, they're used to the chaos, and they almost look like they've seen combat. I'm serious. Like, you talk to anyone that's got more than like 5 kids or, in that 5 kid range, they almost look as if they've seen combat and nothing affects them at all. I mean, they have that 100-yard stare. They've seen something, right? So anyways, I'm not digressing from the camping trip, okay? I don't want to digress. I'm trying to stay on this. You got something to add to this? Not yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. Anyways, so, I mean, there's a lot of you out there that have like 11 kids, okay? I know some of you talk to me all the time. You got like, 9, 10 kids or more. So, there's a lot of different levels of this. It's a good practice to talk about the camping trip and where it goes. What we kind of packed and how we prepare food and stuff like that. Throwing a tent together, getting a vehicle ready. Making sure you got tents. You got your tent. You got your light. You got the stuff for the dog. I'm bringing a dog, so I've got to bring all the dog's stuff. And then I've got to go through and check off everything the kids need, okay? And make it easy. Make it super easy. I mean, you're not going bushcrafting. You're taking 3 kids with you and a dog. So it's not a bunch of bushcrafting stuff. I'm not going to have to go out with my longbow and take down a deer and drag its corpse back to the camp and tie its legs up from some trees and start gutting it right there on the spot and freak the kids out. I don't have to do all that stuff, right? We've got all this precious time we can practice, and food's one of those things. I mean, you can just buy ready stuff to take with you. And it's pretty fun. We had family with us. Other family came to see us and we met up. And they've got 5 kids. Now, they had a different setup than us because they had a trailer. So they've got like the toy hauler type trailer. It's got all the gear and all the cool stuff. So their lifestyle is going to be a little bit different. They're not going to be like me. I told them, look, I'm going back over here and I'm going to manly boil some water over a campfire, and then I'm going to pour it in my ready-made bowl of mac and cheese. Yes, that's funny. I think it's funny. I think about National Lampoon's Vacation, and I thought about the dog in the dog scene where the cop pulls him over. So we had those moments where we had the dog tied up to the back, and I was like, could you just imagine like National Lampoon driving down the road? Dogs drove us crazy already. Dog's tied up to the back. We forgot the dog, because of the chaos going on, and we're driving down the road and the cop pulls us over. "You SOB, do you have any idea what you've done?" and shows him the leash, shows him the collar.
The empty collar.
The empty collar. He's like, he goes, I should pull out my revolver and show you some police brutality. And he's looking back. I had a pooch like that once. And he hung on for a while. He must have been hanging on for a while until you hit the interstate. Anyway, I got to think about that with the dog. I know this is ridiculous. It makes no sense. But it is a good after action. Stuff to think about, right? Yeah. The food. Quick, fast, and easy. We brought juice, but we also brought Capri Suns. Kids screaming. Kids totally freaking out. You've got to set up a tent. You know, you're busy. Or you've got to get a fire ready. You're making fire. Or whatever it is you're doing. Boom. Done with you. There you go. And then, of course, there's always s'mores. I don't have any graham crackers left from the trip, so we just got back. But this is my glass that I got. Sippy got me. Smoky Mountains. There we go. Pretty cool. You could bring rice-a-roni. Boil water in a pot over your fire. I know this is ridiculous. A lot of you are probably going, why are you making a video about this? It's ideas. This works.
Ideas that don't require ice.
Exactly.
Things that just, you don't have to worry about making so many trips, and it's one more thing to have to fuss over is, oh crap, I gotta get more ice. I gotta get more ice.
And most people don't do gear testing on this. What was that like? What was it like? Was it okay? Yeah, it was okay. Yeah. This worked. It was okay. It was enough for each child, so you don't have to overdo it. And it actually has the these actually have the packaged creamy cheese. So not powdered.
So it actually tastes pretty decent.
This was the oatmeal. This was cool. Kids, breakfast, even us, oatmeal. Done. And fully loaded. This one's peppered bacon and cheddar. There you go.
Mm-hmm. And for our meat, which we don't have because we ate it all, was the dehydrated ham. Yeah,
well, it was someone sent us the dehydrated ham, and that was amazing.
That was delicious.
By the way, it was just ridiculously amazing. It was breakfast. That was what we were having because the kids were eating all this stuff. This doesn't have a long shelf life. Keep that in mind. It's like a year. Okay, so don't. I mean, you can do the package of potato mix. You know, instant potatoes. Here's your butter home style potato. Beanies, like these are beanie weenies, as you were beanie weenies. This works. This is like a food grenade. You pop it, throw it at the kid. There you go. You can heat that up if you want to over the fire. Chicken noodle soup. These are easy things you can do. Beans, the whole family. Mm-hmm. And chunk chicken in a can. And the reason why do you think we chose not just sealed items for another reason that we'd like to talk about? Why would I have sealed up chicken where it's not packaged? Why would I do that? So,
well, why would you? Crazy.
In the middle of the night, what happened?
We got surrounded by coyotes, and our dumb dog didn't even give off a warning.
He's been through situations with coyotes before. He's been surrounded by coyotes before, with us on a trip. It's happened before. So he's used to it. Now, what did he do last time? He totally freaked us out. He totally freaked us out last time. We were sitting there, and I think we had, one kid then? We were at level 1. Mm-hmm. Sitting there, level 1 child in a pack and play.
This was Yellowstone, so their coyotes were actually pretty decent size.
They eat there, and they even have wolves in Yellowstone. That's the other one. Yellowstone was no joke for the wildlife there. And we're there in a tent, and the other thing I had in the back of my mind is that we've got other family members in our camping group, because we all camped together, and they had tiny itty-bitty babies, right? So that was what's going through the back of my mind. I'm like, dog, you're a heavyweight, but I don't know how many of these heavyweight coyotes you're going to be able to take before you're down. You know what I mean? And it was man, dog, and coyotes. So that would have been how that would have happened. I don't know how long I would have held out with dog doing that by myself. But luckily, dog totally freaked us out though. Was at the, he knew where they were exactly. He picked up their scent just like that. You could hear them running into the campsite. They were in a large group. They circled around the tent. We know this because the dog circled around the tent. He went from one edge, sniffing and growling around,
Yeah.
and he was tracking their footsteps, and then to the door, where the door was, the entrance into where our tent setup was. And he stopped there, and he was just, I ain't never saw him go all Cujo like that before, but
he stood guard. He didn't bark.
He didn't bark, but he let off a slight growl.
He had his hair raised, and
yeah,
it was that calm, crazy, psycho look.
Dog's not a little dog. He's a very, very big dog, and he's scared a lot of people. So, great protector, great house dog. Now, it's good. It's good to have dogs like that because of stuff like that, and it's good to take dogs. There's an advantage and a disadvantage to taking a dog like that, but dog didn't do anything in this situation because he's just been through it before. And she woke up, shined the flashlight out there. What did you see?
I saw a bunch of eyes surrounding me. I was like, okay, I can't even count how many pairs of eyes I saw through my flashlight.
It's funny how we deal with stuff is totally different than what most people would do.
I was like, okay, that's cool.
I was like, hey, honey, what is it? And she's like,
just a pack of coyotes.
She's like, go back to sleep. I'm like, all right. Whatever. You're not going to get anything. Because they would have wanted this, more than importantly, the chicken. But it's sealed in a can. They're not going to touch it. But the one thing that we do, in the vehicle, we also take our food before we go and hit the sack at night. We take all of our stuff and just chunk it into the vehicle. That's another thing that they've got to get through is the vehicle. But they were looking. They were trying to find it. But clearing out all, don't leave any debris of stuff like a food, leftover food pieces everywhere. Because if so, not much. Just don't leave much. But don't leave a trace. Not much trace. They'll smell it and look for it, but they might not find it. They're not going to dig for it. Not unless a coyote's really hungry.
Yeah.
And freaking crazy, rabid, wild, crazy. Then they'll totally freak out on you. But it's good thought, okay? It's good thought. And I was going to mess around with you guys and be like, yeah, and then in the middle of the night we heard those tiny little dogs that dog was barking at all day getting eaten by a wild pack of coyotes, ripping them apart, and you could hear people screaming all throughout the campsite, and no, it didn't happen. The thing is that most people probably would get complacent or not even think about that when they go camping. They'll go to a place like this, it's literally, camping spot, and everybody's just, hey, how's it going? Well, hey, Billy. You know what I mean? Billy's right across from you, or over here, and you're waving at him. But they might not think about it in the middle of the night, and they might have that outside dog that's just kind of like, hey, tie me to a tree. You know what I mean? And they come out in the morning, all they've got is a leash there, and that dog's gone.
Yeah, you're in the suburbs. What do you see? Bunnies, cute little squirrels.
Yep.
So they're not used to decent-sized coyotes and black bear. It's black bear country too.
A little bit of gamey, sweet smell. Smells domesticated.
People think black bears are cute.
No.
Black bears are equal opportunists.
Well,
if they're hungry enough, they will attack.
It's always the mama. You got to stay away from the mama. That's the one. And I've went out with guns a few times, and I've come across cubs, a lot of other black bear. We've come across when we were in Black Mountain camping. That was literally just went straight through Black Mountains, just hiking. But we saw a lot of different types of critters out there all over the place. A deer's going to come up there, and you'll hear coyotes. They'll the other critters out there make strange noises, and you'll pick up after a while of camping so many times, you'll start knowing what those animals are.
Yeah, and it was interesting to read on each picnic bench. It says bears are really attracted to hot dogs and potato chips.
It's weird.
Chips, yeah.
And fried chicken. It said fried chicken there too.
Did it say fried chicken?
It said fried chicken, hot dogs, and potato chips. That was like the top 3 on the list. So
that's why we like canned meat or the dehydrated meat.
Yeah.
It's not going to get that sent out.
It's always good to know that stuff. But this is good stuff, and I said it in a live chat with you guys and gals. I said it a while back about getting, taking the family out and stuff like that. Go through your stuff. You got to think of a lot of stuff. Man, don't forget toilet paper. What if there's no facilities nearby? You know what I mean? You don't know. I mean, you've never been there before or whatever.
Well, and, we had a big storm the day before we left, so pretty much all the wood was still soaked.
It was soaked.
Staff Sergeant Badass here still got a fire going.
Everything was soaked. Everything was just completely wet. I went out and there was stuff that the forest crew cuts down. Yeah. They kind of cut down, stuff for burning and things like that. And you can go and fetch those out in the woods. But I kind of made my way out and started breaking stuff up and bringing stuff back. And a lot of the smaller stuff was slightly dry, sorta, but not really. It wasn't very promising, but it was. But I still brought it in, and I still got to break up. I found logs that I split, and I just started splitting up some logs and got those kind of stacked up and got those out of the way, and then let those dry next to the fire when I get it going. And then I took magnesium. I used a drill bit and my cordless drill before I took off on the trip, and I took a chunk of magnesium and I drilled the magnesium. I thought I had it like sitting here, but I can't remember. But I drilled the magnesium and I broke up shards of it, and it was like dust, fine dust, and I poured it into a giant container. And when I was there, I just took it and sprinkled it all over the wet stuff and put it in the middle. Got my little cotton balls, set them in the middle, threw a match on it, it lit, and then all the magnesium started sparking up. And once that happened, it instantly started drying everything out. And then I had a gradual fire growing, and then I got to put more dry stuff in. Hotter the fire got, more dry stuff happened, and so on and so forth. But I made sure to initially just get that going. That way I'd have embers already there. So in the morning when I wake up, I've got nice chunks of, it's under there. You just have to knock it out of the way. And I have the boy do that.
Our son actually threw little sticks in there in the morning.
That's his routine, is what he does.
And it lit back right up.
When we go camping, that's what the boy does. But he'll take it and just kind of rake through it back and forth with a stick, and then start chunking stuff in it for me. And we did that several times on other camping trips with the boy. But he'll do that for me, and then chunk stuff in. Next thing you know, I've got another fire going. And first thing in the morning, that way I can make breakfast or whatever I'm doing, boiling some water, pouring up some food, whatever. But yeah, it's the little things that you don't think about. And I thought this would be good to do a little after action about our trip. That we had fun, we got to hang out with our family, and people we don't normally get to see all the time. We haven't seen them in, 2 years?
Yeah.
Roughly. So it was good to get out of this area and go to another area. It was beautiful. It was just, it was God's country, man. It was just beautiful. The waterfalls and stuff, or the rivers. You got all the rivers. You got the falls. You got the rivers. It was just amazing. It was beautiful. The kids got to play in the creek. Yeah. That was a lot of fun. We took some really good pictures. Oh man, it was really cool. The boy learned something. I was teaching him about the difference in the caterpillars, the centipedes, and the caterpillars and all that stuff. Stay away from the red ones. The red ones are bad. He got to learn some of that. Sippy was marching through the woods, helping me collect debris. And what'd you find? You found a plant. What'd you find?
Oh, we found raspberries.
Found raspberries.
Red raspberries. Just random patches of red raspberries.
So she's just walking along. Food. So
Yeah,
she
actually
found the food.
Yeah, my aunt, her son didn't know what it was. He didn't know if it was poisonous or not. He said, "Hey, what's that?" And I said, "Oh, that's a red raspberry. You can eat it."
And one of them is Boy Scout, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of them's in Boy Scouts. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. I got to teach him a couple of little things, like where to cut limbs and joints and stuff like that, and a lot of cool stuff. A lot of fun.
Yep.
But yeah, like I said, make it easy, and then food grenades, boom, like that. Keep it easy. And you don't have to carry an ice chest full of a bunch of cold lunch meat and stuff like that. Chances are, lunch meat,
peanut butter
and jelly, substitute for that. It makes it easy if you're there to hike around and stuff like that and do stuff. You less to worry about in preparations and getting ready, stuff like that, stuff to keep in mind.
Yeah, because jelly you could just keep out for weeks. To be honest, it's got so much sugar in it.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to refrigerate
you don't need
that.
To really refrigerate jelly.
Yeah, especially if you can your own.
Canned one, yeah. Yeah,
because she cans her own jelly, so we just bring that. That's pretty much all I got on this. I just kind of wanted to bring this up and kind of talk about kind of our fun little thing that we did and little trip. Going through Pigeon Forge and all that other stuff. We kind of rode through all that to get to Smoky Mountains. Love those areas. Love all that stuff. Didn't have much time, but we had to go and get there and get the tents up. You know what I mean? It was literally like, okay, done. Kids, count them. Food, done. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that. I just kind of want to bring that up. And don't forget all your stuff. Bring something to cut with. Bring music. You know what I mean? Music, entertainment, games. Kids are going to want to play games.
A lot of Band-Aids.
Band-Aids. Boo-boos. There's boo-boos all the time. The 3-year-old got scraped her knee. So that was one. It was just random. Here you go. Boo-boo.
Yep, what we usually bring is a little bucket with a toilet seat.
Yeah.
For the kids.
We always do that for the back, and if we're in an emergency situation and we can't find a bathroom in time when we're driving down the road, we'll pull over and we'll bust out the bucket. It's for emergency purposes, that's it. But it's got it's a bucket, and on the loop end, it's got toilet paper roll on the side of it, and we just set that down, and it's got some foam on it and stuff. The kid can just pop a squat and toilet paper's right there. So
yeah, you actually, the other time we went camping, you cut up one of those foam noodles you use in the pool, and you slid it and you fit it around the rim. So you don't even need to go buy like a $10, $15 toilet potty train rim.
And you do plastic bags. Just do like little plastic bags or something like that, like garbage bags.
Just tie garbage bags to the handle.
I mean, that way you keep the bucket clean. That way when you're done, the foam noodle can go back in it and you put the lid back on it and you're done. Just keep your clean bags at the bottom, and then when you need a new one, grab the new clean bag, put it over the bucket, put your noodle on, do your business, take your noodle off, pull out your bag, discard the bag, put all your stuff back together, put it back in the back of the vehicle. Done.
Yep.
Emergency pooping. I don't know if any of this is going to help anyone, but we're doing the video anyways. So we hope you guys get, a little bit of food for thought for you. And it's just remembering all this little stuff, especially when you have 3 kids with you. You've got so much stuff to keep in mind. If it was just me and her going out, she's going to grab a bag for herself. I'm going to grab a bag for me, and we're going to head out. It's not that big of a deal. Yep. You got 3 other kids. You got diapers, wipes, all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and anybody else has any creative ideas when it comes to kids and camping?
Yep.
Comment.
There you go. All right, that's all I got. You're watching SOS. I'm Staff Sergeant Badass. Have a beautiful, fabulous, fantastic
Smoky Mountain
camping day, and take it easy.